there's a lot of demoralized people in the right wing of Canada, or the freedom movement, or whatever you want to call it. And they saw what happened during the convoy. They saw how corrupt our government is, and they don't see solutions, probably because there aren't many good ones. And so they get demoralized. And I've been there. I've been there. I've totally felt that way before. It's totally hopeless. It's so over. And I think the solution is to, first of all, address the fact that you're demoralized and try to remoralize yourself any way that you can, by working on yourself. That's always a good first step. Trying to take care of your immediate family or friends or anyone who's around you, your immediate homestead or home or living situation or financial situation. That's always a good place to start. But outside of that, it's important to be grounded in reality of what is possible. We should have a sort of idealist, kind of like radical imagination in terms of what is possible. But there's also something where it's like, okay, well, what's realistic to do right now? What can we do right now? How am I going to reach that long-term ideal goal? And everything I'm talking about is like solutions oriented. That's the healthy thing. Take care of yourself, then assess the situation, aspire for something great that will turn this country around, but also look at the immediate environment and ask yourself, what can I actually do to, progress towards the goal that I want? That's the healthy thing to do. People are not doing that. There's a lot of right-wing people who are not doing that. Maybe they're overwhelmed with demoralization. They're overwhelmed with fear, and they think that the time is out. It's already too late. And then they let sort of, resentment and fear take over, and it turns into this sort of nasty thing. And they just start kind of tearing down everyone around. They just start to shit on everything. They start to shit on the PPC, for example. They start to shit on Diagolon or Jeremy McKenzie or myself or anyone who's actually trying to do something. And it's very, and to be fair, people might between Diagolon and PPC, and they might be fighting back and forth and that sort of thing. And this is what I mean. Sometimes it's productive infighting and it's constructive criticism, or it's like pushing the person to be more aggressive or more strong and brave with their rhetoric. But on the flip side, sometimes it's just kind of nasty and destructive and unproductive, and sort of like it just feels like the person is trying to tear something else down because it feels good in the moment. You know what I said about you're aspiring for a positive goal to try and, turn the country around, but you also have to look at the reality. These people are not having any sort of aspiration for the future. They're like, it's totally over. There is no future. So what can I do with the immediate power I have right now? I'm going to go shit on that person right there. I have the power. I have the ability to go shit on that person, and it's going to feel good. It's going to feel good to just throw a brick through that window, because fuck that. It's over anyway, bro. That's what's unproductive. That's what kind of needs to stop. I think the infighting can be good. I want to host more debates, to be honest, because I've gotten a lot of great feedback from that debate between the Ferryman's Toll and Alex Cargill, aka Transplendor, and I would like to do more debates on those topics, because let's face it, there aren't really much debates going on in Canada, period. There's not going to be a debate on the CBC. There's not going to be a debate on CTV News or City TV. There's not even going to be a debate with the Conservative Party of Canada. They are very much, no discussion. If you become a member, you're not even allowed to, you have to write all this stuff to sign your life away to not talk about stuff. So there's no debate happening there either. Where's the debate happening? It's quite frankly, the debate is happening online between, PPC people, Diagolon people, whatever it is. Maybe a little bickering with kind of the conservative gatekeepers, but most of the time they just try to prop up the Conservative Party. But there's a lot of very pressing issues going on, and we're not really talking about it or parsing it out whatsoever. So, but that's pretty well my rant. We gotta keep things productive. I think like I said, infighting and disagreement, I think can be very healthy. Even if it gets heated, I can see if it gets sometimes a little nasty, or people kind of mock each other a bit and ridicule each other a bit, because that's how you can get your point across. But aside from that, when it's just kind of like nasty with no real point, that kind of stuff I think is just, when I see that stuff, I think it's just honestly depressing, because it's like people are just demoralized, and this is like the epitome of losing. The epitome of losing is, getting crushed by the globalist, astroturfed conservative party, and then any amount of resistance is just bickering and fighting amongst each other with no sort of sign that it's going to manifest into anything productive. I think conflicts are good, but it needs to turn into something positive.